Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Om Ganganapate Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Om Ganatito Aksharam Brahma Bhagavan Purushottamaha Jano Jananidam Satyam Uchyate Bhava Bandhanat Sarvamangala Mangalle Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanitrambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Mahalakshmi Rupena Samstita Namastase 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 Namo Namaha Om Shri Swami Narayana Namaha Om Shri Lakshmi Narayana Namaha Om Shri Narnarayana Namaha Om Shri Vasudeva Narayana Namaha Om Shri Krishna Narayana Namaha Om Shri Shiva Narayana Namaha Om Shri Badri Narayana Namaha Om Shri Satya Narayana Namaha Om Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Om Namo Hanumate Bhayabanjanaya Sukham Kuru Phat Swaha. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 5th of January 2023. I would like to offer, Sachin would like to offer Anantakoti Namaskara, Danvat Pranam to all the enlightened beings who have ever come on the earth in the past, who are present today, and who are yet to come, and to the one and supreme Paramatma residing in the heart of every living being, residing everywhere, Ishavasam Idam Sarvam Yat Kinchit Jagatam Jagat. With that bhavna and prarthana, we are continuing our contemplation on Sri Vivek Chudamani and to understand what is Antakarana. These are some foundational ideas that we want to get into before we go a little bit further into Navdurga Swarup and then eventually finish verse number 65. It'll probably take a couple of weeks before we get to that point, looks like. But it's good to go slowly and carefully to really properly grasp the basic ideas. So remember, the word Antakarana is the inner instrument. It is a composite. It is a composite of 4 functions. So those 4 functions are within our realm of experience. And they are the Ahankar, Buddhi, Manas and Chitta. They are 4 together. So when you pull them together, all 4, they are functioning simultaneously at one point. Okay, so at any given point in time, they are functioning simultaneously. We have been examining to some extent what is Ahankar and Buddhi. I want to make sure that these terms are clear in the way that the Vedanta is talking, because remember, the Atma is the seer of the Antakarana. Atma uses the Antakarana for experience. So Ahankar is the identification of the Atma with the I. That I am the body. I am this particular person. This is called Ahankar. I am possessing. It is to possess. It is the attachment or identification of the ego, the sense of me, the psychological sense of me. That is Ahankar. It has a place, we talked about it already. Buddhi, what does it do? It is a decision-making capacity of the mind. Throughout our day-to-day life, we make so many decisions, right? Like, for example, we all made a decision today to come to the daily satsang, to do some prarthana, prayers, etc. It's a decision. So the decision that is made is possible by the Buddhi's 4 functions. Sanshay, Nishay, Smriti, Nidra. Nishay means to decide that this is the case, it is the case. Sanshay means I'm not sure, there's doubt. So the lack of clarity in the mind, that is sanshay. The decisions that are made with clarity, as well as that sense that it is so. That there's a conviction that it is so. For example, if we are convinced that there is Atma, there is Paramatma, there's a conviction that is in the Buddhi. So that is there. Then there's also Smriti Nidra. Smriti and Nidra are very, very relevant in our lives. Smriti means remembrance. Remembrance of things as they are, particularly from a spiritual point of view. But it's not just that. It's also in our day-to-day life, in our professional life, in our life with the whole professional field, etc. We have to have Smriti. So Buddhi has 4 functions: Smriti, Nidra, Sanshay, Nishay. In Vachanamrita also, Bhagavan Swaminarayan Garada Pratham 12, Barmu Vachanamrita, Pratham nu Barmu. He's mentioned all of this, he's described this very well. It's called Tattvana Lakshan nu Vachanamrita. What does it mean? What are the tattvas? In summary, that is written over there. We're going in a little bit more detail to understand it. So Smriti, Nidra are the other 2 functions of the Buddhi. Smriti means what? Remember, good remembrance. Remembrance, but particularly remembrance that is going to enliven us and keep our intellect really sharp. We say sharp intellect, powerful intellect. That sharp intellect, powerful intellect is possible when the energy within the buddhi reaches a state of culmination. See this point. So when we are doing bhakti, for example, when we are doing sadhana bhakti, 9 prakar ki bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma, Nivedanam, 9 forms of bhakti towards Bhagavan, Paramatma. We are increasing this smruti shakti in the buddhi. So the brain itself is changing further. We talked about it yesterday. So that smruti shakti, it awakens, because that awakening of the intellect is necessary for further development on adhyatmic path. See, now there's a lot of references. In the Bhagavad Gita, there are many references to this point. In the Gita, Bhagavan Krishna, वो क्या कहते हैं? या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागृति संयमी यस्यां जागृति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुनेः. There are 2 paths shown. And the same kind of thing is shown in the Upanishads, Shreyas and Preyas. So what are the 2 paths? Ya nisha sarva bhutanam. Most of the people in the world are asleep on the spiritual path. They're awakened on the rajogun, tamogun, on the worldly experience. They're awakened there. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati sanyami. Sanyami means one who is a yogi, who is a bhakta, who is awakened on the spiritual path. So the intellect we have, the bigger brain, bottom line is that we have a bigger brain. The bigger brain we have, what are we using for? Are we using the bigger brain to open up the dimension, to go further and see its full potentiality and realize the Atma and the Paramatma? Is that what the brain is being used for? It can be. Bade jo sant ho gaye, abhi bhi jo hai, they use their brain, their mind 100% for this purpose. Not 99%. They do everything. They eat food and they walk around and they do everything like we do. But they're using their intellectual capacity for akhanda manana chintan. Isko manan chintan nididhasa. In Vedanta, we have talked about it before. Shravan, manan, nididhasa and sakshatkar. These are the 4 stages. Right? So those 4 stages are part of the buddhi. So when what we're trying to do right now is to understand what is meant by antakarana. This knowledge is necessary, but that knowledge is just a verbal understanding. From that we can decide in the buddhi itself which way we want to go. Do we want to take some more energy and put it on the spiritual side for develop the buddhi further? Or do we just want to remain asleep in Mahamaya? We have a choice. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam. You see, we talked about gurus many times, and I have kind of mentioned it in different ways. Guru Tattva is necessary. Outside gurus, we respect them, love everybody. Everybody we love, no problem. Koi baat nahi. Take good things from everybody, everybody becomes our guru. Like Guru Dattatreya. You take even one good quality, even from the worst person in the world, something good you can take, and you can turn that into guru. That is also part of the Buddhi Tattva. That's what Guru Dattatreya ka mahima kya hai? He took 24 gurus. These are the nature. And he learned a lesson from everybody. So if you are looking to grow from inside, we can learn from everybody. We can take something good from everybody and build our Divya Ananda from inside, in the Antakarana. It's very easy to find faults. This kind of thing that we do, fault finding, abhav, avgun, rag, dvesh, everybody's doing that in the world. Very easy to do, right? Very easy to find 100 people's faults. Where is my deficiency? That awareness occurs in the buddhi. Oh, I have so much to work on myself. Why am I worried about other people? That is also there. Is Vivek. Garada Pratham 6 Vachanamrut. Vivek, right? So all of this is part of buddhi. Smruti Nidra. We were talking about that. Smruti kya hai? Nidra kya hai? And we're talking about Samshay Nishay. So when there is awakening, smriti, then there is a holding on to Brahma Vidya. That's the highest function of the buddhi. We have a brain, we have a buddhi, we have everything. What is it that the buddhi is holding on to? Yes, we have to live in this world beautifully without any problem with anyone and progress in the world also. Bhukti, mukti, both things. But the progression with bhukti, meaning this worldly experience, without using the buddhi for moksha also, for higher development, what will that do? That will destroy the energy inside the buddhi. बुद्धि नाशात प्रणश्यति, भगवद गीता का सिद्धांत है. बुद्धि का नाश होता है. बुद्धि का नाश क्या है? Actually, it has been shown that the brain changes occur. The brain is damaged, in fact. The neuronal connections, synaptic connections are damaged. With kam, krodh, lobh, too much of that is going to damage the brain. So, buddhi can be utilized in the present through the prayer of and bhakti of Paramatma to awaken the buddhi and to stop the damage that is being caused. How can somebody stop damage in the antakarana? People don't even know what that is. We can see the damage in the physical body, but the antakarana ka jo damage hai na, we don't see that. But until things get extreme, then there are psychological problems and neurological problems and psychiatric problems. So the damage to the buddhi is one of the biggest problems in the entire human civilization. That is why there are so many conflicts and wars and problems of every kind in human civilization. Because we have not learned how to use our buddhi to live peacefully with each other as a human race. We are the only species that kills itself. We don't even have that intelligence like animals do, that they shouldn't kill their own kind. We kill our own kind. We're using buddhi, putting energy into the buddhi for dvesh, for hatred, for negativity, for weapons, for all that thing. That is a destructive use of buddhi. And that is why humanity suffers. So when buddhi is utilized for constructive purposes, that is a big thing. But see, Bhagavan has given this sharir in such a way, you can go in any direction through the human body. You can go towards moksha, all the way to the highest truth. You can go into the Swarga Lokas, you can wind up in this Loka again, you can wind up in the animal kingdom or in the insect kingdom or the Naraka Loka. You can go anywhere from this body. This body is a doorway. Where do we want to go? In Bhagavad Gita chapter 8, Akshara Brahma Yoga. इसमें क्या लिखा है? Bring your consciousness to the Agnya Chakra. And then bring it to the Sahasrara Chakra. In chapter 8, there's a whole prakriya. We'll go through the Gita, those verses later on sometime. But it is talking about bringing the whole consciousness inside, is raising it all the way up. So that the yogi, the bhakta, can leave this body at the right time, or Bhagwan ki krupa se Bhagwan aate hai swayam, and takes the bhakta out of this sansar. This is just a temporary place, folks. Don't think that anything here is permanent. बहुत ही क्षणिक जीवन है. छिए थोड़ा दिवसना मेहमान, जीवन थोड़ू रही. There are so many bhajans, you know. तमे भावे भजिलो भगवान, जीवन थोड़ू रही. कईक आत्मानो करिलो कल्याण. In Gujarati, we used to sing a lot of bhajans before. We have them still. This is a bubble only. But this is a doorway. This sharir is a doorway for the Atma to go where it is going to go next. And to realize this point, it is called Anusandhan. In Vachanamrut, Garada Antya number 30 Vachanamrut, Trismu, Antenu Trismu. Maharaj has put 5 points of pure awareness. It's called, and it is Anusandhan means it's like an awakened on guard awareness. That's what the word Anusandhan would be better translated as. And the first point he mentioned there, which is very relevant as far as the buddhi is concerned, is to be completely awakened to the fact that this body can go and be and stop its functioning anytime. कभी भी इसका मृत्यु हो सकता है. We know that. We want nice long life. We want nice long, yes, of course. भगवान की कृपा से वो सब होगा. But we also know, we all know this also, that this body can end anytime. Nobody has given a guarantee that Sachin is going to live another 10 years or 15 years or 10 days or 10 minutes even. Who has given that guarantee? So Maharaj is saying, in Gujarati he mentioned, हमने अखंड अनुसंधान छे कि આ શરીર ગમે ત્યારે, within the present, it will go. And because of that, there is vairagya. So vairagya is a state of freedom from the sansar. From the fear of the संसार. किसका भय रहेगा? जब शरीर ही नहीं रहेगा तो किसका भय रहेगा? You are not going to be there. Where is the issue of this world or anybody else for that matter? Or anything for that matter? That is called anusandhan. Akhanda anusandhan means you are on guard that this can happen. Because of this can happen, the buddhi is given a lot of energy. In the words of J. Krishnamurti, this is called the vitality of death. In his dialogues with Professor Anderson, which are available on YouTube, in the last 16th or 17th dialogue, he has mentioned this. Vitality of death. What an expression that is. That we meditate on the fact that death, the physical ending can come anytime. And because of that, we're alive. We're fully alive now. And in that life, the energies are used in a way for the highest goals, highest upliftment. They're not wasted. Time is not wasted. Energy is not wasted. Buddhi is not wasted. Nobody is hurt. We're not hurt. All of the damage in the antakaran stops. This is the key. That is Jnana. So Jnana is an evolution. What is Jnana actually? Jnana is this enhanced understanding that is touching the Atma. That is Jnana. It is a realization, it is an internal, it is a clear realization that pierces through the veil of Maya. Maya is like a cover. Trigunatmika Maya. The Jnana is that which pierces through the veil of Maya. Now let's use some examples. How does the Buddhi do this? Lots of examples are there. Let's say we see a pregnant lady on the street. You go to the mall or you go to the park somewhere, you see somebody who's pregnant. तो ज्ञान दृष्टि से क्या हम देखते हैं? What do we see? Garbhavas. That the Jivatma is back into this Garbhavas and is ready to experience the sansar. Of course, we wish well for all. Obviously, that is the opportunity. Also, see the whole picture that the Jivatma is given a human body into the Garbha of this particular being so that the human body can grow. That's how we came out. Same thing. वो संसार चक्र है. We see the cycle of reincarnation. Then we see what is going to happen when that Jivatma comes out, be bound and conditioned in the society and all that is necessary, as we talked about yesterday, and is going to get trapped again, most likely. The opportunity is to get out, but the person loses the opportunity. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a statement made by Parikshit Raja. Parikshit and Shukdev ji, it's a dialogue between them, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. But Parikshit had this memory of being in the womb. And he said that when the child is in the womb, wo prarthna karte. The child has awareness that take me out of this and I will pray to you, God, so you don't put me back into this again. ऐसी प्रार्थना every Jivatma does that. They say all Jivatma that is in the Garbha prays to Paramatma, I will only worship you so I don't have to come back in this terrible place again. गर्भ का इसमें कोई सुख भी कुछ नहीं है इसमें. There's nothing there. It's all pain only. That's all. The development of the body and the development of the brain. The Jivatma has to suffer terribly, actually. इसमें tremendous suffering है for everybody. This is the problem of this whole sansar, A to Z. So the problem of the Garbhavas is such, but that Garbhavas has to occur in the right way. The body has to form and everything else. So much is involved in that. And then the Jivatma comes out again and then gets conditioned in the world and is lost in Mahamaya again. And forgets everything. Forgets that pain of the Garbhavas. It is like that. Again, it is not something that is provable that easily by science. But we can say by the statements of the rishis that they have said that in the Garbhavas there's all kinds of trouble inside there. And there's bondage. It's the bandhan. It is a garbha. But that is wo maya ka garbha hai. Because the Jivatma is not released from maya, has to come back again into the womb of the mother again. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jatare shayanam, iha samsare, bahudustare, krupaya pare, pahi murari, bhajagovindam, 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 mudamate. Who is saying this? Sachin isn't saying anything to anybody. Shankaracharya Ji is saying, if you disagree with it, you can disagree with him. Give him a phone call. थोड़ी बात करने आदि जगत गुरु. ये क्या आपने लिखा है? पुनरपि मरणम, पुनरपि jananam. He's seeing from his own experience that this is the case. Bhaja Govindam Stotra has 36 verses. Just 36 verses, or in that whole bondage is described and mukti is described. What is the essence? Bhagwan ki bhakti akhand karna. Everything else will come and go in life. People will come and go. Money will come and go. Fame will come and go. Status will come and go. Body will be healthy and unhealthy. That will come and go. Everything will come and go. Hair will come and go. Everything comes and goes. The senses come and go. But in this human body, that is by krupa that the human body is given. Even though there is pain and suffering and all the difficulty, but even in that is there because that is the way that Maya expresses. It is an opportunity given to the Jivatma. Human body is the number one opportunity given for moksha. Buddhi indriya mana prana anjana nama srijat prabho matra arthancha bhavarthancha yatmane kalpanayacha karyani number 1 vachanamrut. It's a reference Maharaj gave from Srimad Bhagavatam. So once we decide, ek decision hona chahiye in the buddhi itself. Decision, we can have a decision that says, Sachin is going to connect with Paramatma. Step by step, carefully. And before you know it, there's a beautiful Saki that we used to listen to in the satsang. Surya Chandra farta na dekha hai, vatta na dekha hai vel, em harijana hari ko bhajta na dekha hai, ashare ka khel. इसका मीनिंग क्या है? We cannot see, we cannot detect the movement of the sun or the moon. We also cannot detect the growth of the plants, the veil, the money plant or whatever like that. But it's every second it is growing, it is changing. Similarly, as we continue adhyatmic sadhana, bhajan, kirtan, manan, chintan, as we continue day in and day out, एम हरिजन हरि को भजता न देखा है आश्चर्य का खेल. आश्चर्य का खेल means what? आश्चर्य क्या है? When we are awakened into the Brahmic state, we don't even realize that will happen. सत्संग करना. सत्संग क्या मीनिंग है? भजन, कीर्तन, अखंड कथा वार्ता, मनन, चिंतन. Keep doing again and again and again as much as possible. And that will, उसमें से आश्चर्य. आश्चर्य क्या है? Oh my God. The buddhi is opened up completely, mind is opened up. और आश्चर्य में वो आत्म तत्व, that is आनंद, इसकी अनुभूति होती है, भगवान की अनुभूति होती है. ये आश्चर्य का खेल. It is an amazing thing. So how to use this body? Once we get this body, the knowledge about how to use this body is in the buddhi. See what is the gift of Paramatma? That we have a brain, The brain should be healthy. See, that's the other thing. The healthy body, which many people take for granted, is not to be taken for granted. We have to really appreciate, and every day we have to thank Paramatma for giving a body that is relatively healthy. That there are healthy eyes, healthy ears. I actually downloaded about 2 years ago a whole series of research articles on the number of diseases. It is incredible. There are thousands, things that we have never even heard of. Those kinds of diseases are there and problems are there for the body. And the fact is, we don't have them is a big blessing. If you make a list of the diseases, it's in the thousands. It's incredible. Kitna dukh hai sansar mein. And the fact that if we are in good position, good situation, without problems and difficulties of various kinds, भगवान की कृपा. और इसमें क्या करना? भगवान की स्मृति करना. अंतःकरण का main point ये है, to use the buddhi to have smriti, akhanda smriti, again and again and again, and to live in the world with peace, happiness. We live in the relative world in the relative way. Vyavharika satya, pratibhashika satya, and the paramarthika satya. All three levels are there. So vyavharika satya, we live inside this world as per the function of the sansar. We don't have a choice. We have to live that way. Everybody has to live that way. Everybody has to perform action. Everybody has to perform activity just to maintain the body. And there is nobody in this world who can live without performing action. So the activity that is performed in the body, by the body, is performed through the antakarana. The antakarana is this buddhi. And in this buddhi, there are many functions of the buddhi. So when the buddhi is awakened, the awakening of intelligence, as per J. Krishnamurti, the awakening of the buddhi as per Karyani number 1 Vachanamrut, the awakening of the buddhi as per the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads and all the teachings of the great sages, it is the awakening of the buddhi where one does not go back into the mud of limitation. The limitations stop. So one is not stuck anywhere. That is the beauty. One is not trapped anywhere. So in the buddhi, it evolves into a buddha. That is what the word buddha means. The word buddha is actual word. Gautam Buddha, we say the person who became the Buddha, but that's not his name really. That is a state of realization. The Buddha means the awakened one. The buddhi that is opened, is awakened, is called Buddha. So when we are living our day-to-day life with awakening meaning jagruti, janpanu, akhanda janpanu, akhanda jagruti, we're living with the gurus inside of us. Each person can bring the outside gurus inside. Bring them inside. Don't keep them outside. You see good things from people, good qualities from, bring it inside. That's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. Don't keep the distance between the good qualities outside, Daivi Gun, and who you are. You are that, Tattvamasi. So when we close the gap, all of the gurus, all of the teachings, all of the scriptures, they begin to take life inside the antakarana. So inside the antakarana becomes a holy temple. It becomes mandir. Mandir kya hai? Mandir kisko banana hai? What is the real mandir? Mandir, external mandirs are there. Anek prakar ke mandir hai, theek hai. But there's only one mandir that needs to be built, or isme pratishtha honi chahiye. Ye antakaran ka mandir hai. Antakaran becomes a mandir. Antakaran becomes a temple. The pure at heart shall see God. The kingdom of heaven is within you. The Bible. Bhagwan Swaminarayan in Vachanamrut. હૃદય આકાશને વિશે ભગવાનની મૂર્તિ છે. ગરડા મધ્ય 13. Where is the Antakaran is transformed into Divya Mandir. You are the Mandir where Bhagwan is going to reside and do his work. Have we ever thought of ourselves like that? We think about going to temples and coming out of temples. We think about going to different places, coming in and out. There's no coming in and out. There's no going anywhere. You can go everywhere and there's no going anywhere. Wherever you are, that is enlightenment. Where you are, that is the mandir. When the antakarana is infused, it's incorporating, it is drinking Brahmananda. There's a beautiful Sakhi of Brahmanand Swami. भगवान स्वामीनारायण के एक बड़े संत हो गए. वो कवि संत थे, बहुत बड़े संत थे वो. उन्होंने ऐसा लिखा है, श्वासो श्वास भजन जब लागे, टूटन देतन दोरा, नाथ छवि अंतर में निरखत, नाथ छवि नैनन में निरखत, जैसे चंद चकोरा, श्याम सुंदर रंग भीनी. इसका मीनिंग क्या है? श्वासो श्वास भजन जब लागे, टूटन देतन दोरा. You take this breath in and out. Every action Bhagwan ke saath link. It's a linkage with Paramatma. It is akhanda bhakti. So all four, ahankar, buddhi, manas, chitta, all of them link with Paramatma. Through bhajan kirtan, through bhajan smaran. Shwaso shwasa bhajana jab lage. It's a state. It doesn't happen just like that. It's a state of evolution where the antakarana is infused with Navada Bhakti. And it is just colored with Navada Bhakti. And the bhajan erupts. Shwaso shwasa bhajana jab lage, tootana detana dora. That means the bhakta doesn't allow for the connection with the Ishta Devata to be broken. Bhagwan ke saath jo divya sambandh hai, why should anybody break that? Why would we want to break that? That is the most foolish thing actually, to break that divine connection. And to try to establish a connection in this sansar and to find God that way in this mixed up sansar is the biggest mistake. क्षणिक वस्तु में से अखंड आनंद कैसे प्राप्त हो सकता है? कभी भी नहीं. It can never happen. That's why when we connect with शाश्वत तत्व, अनादि काल से जो माया से पर है, ऐसे जो तत्व है, वो भगवान है, उनके साथ जो कनेक्शन हो जाएगा, तो इसमें क्या होता है? श्वासो श्वास भजन जब लागे, तू टन देतन दोरा. He's using the example of the string. You know, the string is connecting two points together, together, Bhakta and Bhagwan. Like if you have two items that are connected, two objects that are connected by this string. What is the string? That is the vritti that is infused with bhakti. That is the vritti meaning the internal fountain of thoughts. Fuara nu vachanamrut. I think it's Vartal 5 or something, 4 or 5. Fuara. This it's antakaran is like a fountain of thoughts. So the vritti, where that fountain is coming right from the base level, that vritti is infused with bhakti. And that bhakti is what is linking with Paramatma. So shwaso shwasa bhajana jab lage, tootana detana dora, nath chabi, meaning Bhagwan की जो छवि है, भगवान का जो स्वरूप है, वो जो दिव्य विग्रह है, उनके साथ अखंड संबंध रहता है. नाथ छवि अंतर में निरखत. Now what does that mean? This is in the antakarana. Inside the antakarana, भगवान की प्रतिष्ठा होती है. हम कहते हैं ना, मूर्ति प्रतिष्ठा कीजिए. मूर्ति प्रतिष्ठा, when we build a temple. But from the Veda mantras, from the Nyas mantras, the pratishtha is within you. प्रजनने ब्रह्मा तिष्ठतु पादयोर विष्णुस्तिष्ठतु हस्तयोर हरस्तिष्ठतु वायुर So it is the pratishtha of each of the devatas inside the antakarana, and with that protection, it is the pratishtha of Paramatma. Paramatma is actually already there, but in the antakarana, we are asking Paramatma to reveal itself inside the antakarana. Antakaran में भगवान का स्वरूप, भगवान के जो स्वरूप है, भगवान नु जो स्वरूप है in Gujarati में, इसकी प्रतिष्ठा अंतकरण में होती. That is a real मूर्ति प्रतिष्ठा. इनसाइड द अहंकार, बुद्धि, मन, संचित्त, ये चार जो है, इसमें भगवान की प्रतिष्ठा होती है. And that, in fact, when we do the Laghu Nyas and the Mahanyas Vidhi, the mantras that are chanted before the pujas are done. Nyas means what? It is a pratishtha that you are invoking inside of you. Aham amrute e amrutam brahmani. There's so many verses like this. And sometime we'll go through that sometime in the future. Those are Ved mantra. So the Ved mantras are showing how to do the pratishtha inside the antakarana from a Ved mantra point of view. But if you don't know the Ved mantras and all that, doesn't matter. You do the Guru mantra or Bhagwan ka jo mantra hai, no problem. Swami Narayan mantra kijiye, Namah Shivaya mantra kijiye, no problem. Hanuman ji ka mantra kijiye. किसी भी इष्ट देवता पंचदेव जो है और भगवान है, उनका जो मंत्र है, you can do that as a pratishtha. But जब प्रतिष्ठित हो जाता है, then you are the temple. You are the mandir. There's no mandir. There's external mandirs are all inside of you. External gurus, every great saint, every guru, every scripture is inside the antakarana. Is brought inside. That in pratishtha means it is fixed there. भगवान का जो स्वरूप है वो अंतकरण में इसका it is established there. That's what Brahmanand Swami is saying. Shwaso shwasa bhajan jab lage tootana detana dora nath chhabi antar mein indirakhat nainana mein indirakhat. Jaise, now see this point. Jaise chand chakora, chanda meaning chandrama, or chakor pakshi. Chakor pakshi is this type of bird that when the moon comes out, it continuously looks at that without moving at all, and it will eventually become frozen. The whole body will almost like freeze because it is completely absorbed inside the moon. For 1 second, it doesn't move away from that. ये स्थिति है, ये क्या है? ये परम भक्त की अद्भुत अलौकिक स्थिति है. ये भक्ति की पराकाष्ठा है. और ये अंतकरण में ये सब खेल चलता है. अंतकरण, the problems of the अंतकरण are so many. But if we try to solve those problems one at a time, we will never be able to solve them all. We cannot do that. You see, we have to bring in Paramatma. उनका आवाहन होना चाहिए. Even in the Durga Upasana, in the Durga Saptashati, before Durga Saptashati is done, see how the Avahan mantras go, right? Om Aim Atmatattvam Shodhyam Namah Swaha, Om Reem Vidyatattvam Shodhyam Namah Swaha, Om Klim Shivatattvam Shodhyam Namah Swaha, Om Aim Reem Klim Sarvatattvam Shodhyam Namah Swaha. What is that? वो क्या है? वो एक प्रार्थना है that through Aim Reem Klim, in the Shakti mantra, from Shakti Upasana point of view, that the Parameshwari awaken from inside and give us the intelligence, because it is an intelligence that awakens so that Paramatma can be. It is another approach. So many approaches. In Vartal 11, Bhagwan Swaminarayan mentioned Satpurush ne Vishay Dharpriti, Ej Atmadarshanu Sadhan. He said, Satpurush ne Olakwa, recognize Sant kaise hote. He said, Chaud Indriyo ni kriya potane Vishay nathi manta. You know what that means? That the entire antakarana, the four antakarana, these 4 parts, plus the 5 sense organs, 5 action organs, there are activities going on. But जिसको सतपुरुष कहते हैं, जिसको महापुरुष कहते हैं, they are in a state of the Atma and Paramatma. They said that this function is not me. It is there. अंतकरण में सब function चलता है. I'm not that. I am the Atma. So अंतकरण में भगवान का जो भगवान की जो प्रतिष्ठा होती है, in Vachanamrut, as per Vachanamrut, it is called Indriya Antakaran Anubhav Pochanu Vachanamrut. It means that the Antakarana is infused by that Paramatma, And by the grace of Paramatma in the Antakarana, उनकी कृपा से ये आत्मा का साक्षात्कार होता है. कोटि रवि चंद्र निकांति झांकी करे, एवा तारा उर विषय नाथ भासे, मुक्तानंद स्वामी जी का पद है कि within you कोटि रवि चंद्र निकांति, इनफाइनाइट अनंत सूर्य चंद्रमा का जो प्रकाश है, वो प्रकाश भी कुछ नहीं है, आत्मा और परमात्मा का जो भगवान का जो प्रकाश है. भगवद गीता चैप्टर 15, न तद्भास्यते सूर्यो न शशांको न पावकः यद् गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम. ऐसी अलौकिक अद्भुत स्थिति है. एंड when this opens up, इसको अनुभव कहते हैं, आत्मा परमात्मा का अनुभव, ये संसार का बंधन टूट जाता है. संसार doesn't hold any water for that person anymore. No. कारण शरीर का नाश हो जाता है इसमें. कार्यणी नंबर 12 वचनामृत, कारण शरीर का नाश. कारण शरीर का जब नाश होता है, वन इज अ ब्रह्म स्वरूप, वन ब्राह्मिक स्थिति में रहते हैं. एंड देन संसार में रहते हैं, but संसार इज अ छोकरानी रमत. गुणातीतानंद स्वामी साहब, संसार શું છે? છોકરાની રમત જેવું છે. You begin to see that this sansar is like little children playing, building big buildings and destroying them, and just like little kids are building sand castles and all that, the same thing is going on at a much bigger level. That's all. Chokrani ramat. Somebody is overpowering somebody else and building something in terms of bashing somebody else, and ये सब क्या चल रहा है? One country hurting another. It's painful, it's terrible, it's horrific. But from a Gnani point of view, Gnani Purush, उनकी दृष्टि कैसी है? That this world and the activity of the world, it is like these people are children from the Buddhi. Buddhi of the most of the humanity is infantile, childlike. It is called Manda Buddhi. 99% of the Sansari people, Manda Buddhi. They don't have any buddhi to understand any of these things because they're stuck in rag, dvesh, aham, mamatva, kam, krodh, lobh. They're destroying the intelligence that is there. Buddhi nashat pranashyati, Bhagavad Gita. And isiliye, the whole sansar suffers because of this. But to stop that suffering, we have to stop our suffering. We cannot worry about anybody else. Gunatitanand Swami in Gujarati said, Potana kalyanma drishti barabar rakhi, bijano loto joto karo. What does that mean? Keep attention on where you are. Fix the damage from inside. And if one person even awakens, that person will impact thousands and thousands. Oh, Bhagwan ki ichha. That is the power of spirituality, satsang, adhyatmik shastra. It is a life. It is called Divya Jivan. इसमें दिव्य जीवन की बात है और इसमें सब करुणा. Then everybody is seen in a very different light. काम, क्रोध, लोभ, ये सब संसार की प्रक्रिया. We see it is motivated based on the gunas of Maya. And we leave it alone. You don't do anything to that. That is the way it's going to be. There's a purpose for that also. But one is able to awaken and infuse inside. Bhagwan ke saath aisa divya sambandh. See, let me just close by this for today. When we are connected with Paramatma in this akhanda vritti, like that chakor pakshi, when we are connected this way, then that Paramatma is seen in everybody. Look at the Bhagavad Gita shlokas. Yomam pashyati sarvatra, sarvam cha mai pashyati, tasyaham na pranashyami, sachame na pranashyati. This is one shlok. That vidya vinay sampanne brahmane gavihastini shuni chaiva shapake cha panditaha samadarshinaha. That's another shlok. Then Muktanand Swami ji ka pad hai, jya juve te Ram ji biju na bhase re, bhate dekhi bhule nahi anubhava ujase re. Jahan, anywhere you go, we see first the Ishtadevata, Bhagwan Paramatma. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu. In the Bhagavad Gita, there's many verses which we will look at another time about how God is present everywhere. God is present everywhere, in every place, inside of us, outside of us, inside of everybody. Where is God not? This is the story with Prahlad ji and Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was that Asuri king, but his son was a great devotee of Bhagwan Vishnu. So Prahlad ji said, "Where?" So that Hiranyakashipu is saying, "Where is your Vishnu?" So he says, "Don't ask me where he is. Ask me where he's not." He says, "Is he in this column?" Yes. You break the column, he came out of there. That is a state of devotion. Bhagwan sarvatra hai, sab jagah hai. ऐसी एक स्थिति है. This is a realization. Point today was simply that this antakarana is a very special gift of Paramatma. और सब इसमें से शुद्धता आनी चाहिए, इसमें दिव्यता आती है और इसमें प्रतिष्ठा होती है. भगवान की प्रतिष्ठा अंतकरण में होती है. और इसमें, if it doesn't happen here, then it's just something in the temples and all that, and that's okay. That is something that is there. That's not a problem. That is a beginning. It's not an end. So we'll stop here for today. We'll continue on this further. We'll talk about manas and chitta in the next 2 days, and then we'll continue further from there.